What's going on, y'all? Straight to the point. Uh, no beating around the bushes. Y'all be sure to hit the like and sub to the channel if you're not a member. And hit them notifications too, all right? Shouts out to the whole LDBC basketball and boxing communities. And salute to all the people that rock with me. Now, as you know, I'm here in the city, and I'm gonna keep you up to date as to what's going on in terms of this Luka trade and AD trade and all of that, man. And I'm gonna tell everybody straight up, man. A lot of people are not liking this trade at all here in Dallas. Fans are protesting. Fans are ready to cancel the Dallas Mavericks organization. They were out there in front of American Airlines chanting "Sell the team." They are ready to they're ready to overthrow the Mavericks organization. They don't like what happened. I know Luka, even though that he likes LeBron and all that stuff or whatever, man, he didn't necessarily want to leave the Mavericks organization, but Nico Harrison had other plans in his mind. Matter of fact, Jason Kidd was even blindsided by the whole situation too, and you saw that in the press conference. They're not mad at Luka. I want to make that abundantly clear. They're not mad at Luka. They're mad at the Dallas Mavericks organization for doing this. What's up, Steven? Spur made a good move. Fox is a future. Luka is a sellout. No, Steven. What are you talking about? What are you talking about, man? Luka didn't have any idea about what was going on in this trade, man. Did you? Are you paying attention to what's going on, man? Please hit the like when you come in here too. Hit the like button when you come in here, all right? Steven, Luka didn't sell out or anything, man. He basically, like, and did you even read the farewell letter? He made a farewell letter to the fans. He didn't even address the organization. Like, he pretty much told the organization kiss his ass. You know what I'm saying? Luka is hot about this situation, and so is Jason Kidd to a certain extent. No, you can't do that. He doesn't have a no trade clause. Like, he could still be traded, and on top of that, he's up for an extension. He's going to be a UFA. He's going to be an unrestricted free agent. I think it's coming up in the next season. And they were working. He wanted the 430 mil. He wanted the 430 mil. But I don't know. I have to go back and look because they were talking about five years for 229. Okay, so you'll know that Luka, he didn't have any ill will towards the fans or anything like that. This was something, like I said, man. Nobody really knew about this situation. Not even LeBron. LeBron was blind, despite what people are going to think. LeBron was blindsided by this whole situation. Now, a lot of people are going to raise their eyebrows because LeBron is staying and everything. But one of the reasons why I think LeBron is going to go ahead and stay is because it would make no sense for him to leave. It would make absolutely no sense for him to leave. Why are you going to leave? And the Lakers are already in position to make the playoffs and possibly, I'm not saying that they are, but possibly come out of the West. Why would they do that? But this was pretty much a slap in the face of LeBron, letting you know, hey, look, we're trying to move on. Luka is 25 years old, so Luka didn't sell out, man. The Mavericks organization were fed up with Luka, and I've already told you this, Steven, that Luka has a problem showing up to camp in shape. He went up to 270 pounds, which I find that hard to believe. I would say like at the most about like 260 or something like that, but apparently 270 pounds is what he went up to. You said the fans want to leave LeBron to leave the Laker fans, huh? The fans want LeBron to leave the Lakers fans. You gotta. I guess you meant to say something, but anyways, man, the fans are hot. The fans are heated at the organization. They're not heated at Luka. I want to make that clear. I'm gonna put that in my shorts to show you what's truly going on. I've been talking to people in the city here, Stephen, and everybody. I mean, you could. It's like everybody's body language is just in shock. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how a lot of Cowboys fans like yourself, how you feel when Tony Romo gets injured or something like that, or y'all didn't make the playoffs or something like that. Well, that's how the energy is now that this trade went down. And there was a guy, man, he's going viral right now. I mean, he was cooking the Mavs organization. Why are you upset, Steven? Are you a Mavericks fan? I thought you were a Sixers fan, man. Why would you be upset? And I noticed you root for the Mavericks pretty hard, man. I don't understand why you would be upset, man. But anyways, man, like the fans are really they're upset and they're ready. They're saying stuff like they're ready to they're chanting, they're protesting. Like everybody is outside protesting, man. Like this thing is serious. And what you got to realize about these fans over here, when it comes to the Dallas Mavericks fans, they're passionate fans in the NBA. I know it doesn't really get talked about that much, but man, these fans out here, man, they take it serious, man. You said because LeBron always begging for help when the Sixers need more help. In this case, like I told you, Steven, man, you're gonna have to go back and you're gonna have to really do your research, man. I'm gonna say this again. LeBron, in this situation, he did not want to get rid of AD. And to be honest with you, I know LeBron has asked for help and stuff like that. He'd gotten into it with Pelinka before and stuff. But actually, it was AD that was asking for a lot of the help too. He wanted the help in terms of the front court. He wanted a lot of more front court help and stuff, which I can understand from AD's perspective. But I was like, you're playing relatively good, but I think AD was looking at it from an injury standpoint too. But now AD got his wish. AD got a lot of weight. What? Listen, you really shouldn't be mad in this case right here, Stephen, because Dallas won the trade right now. Now a lot of people are saying, well, Luka's going to carry the Lakers to the finals. That remains to be seen. You know what I'm saying? We'll have to see if that happens. You know what I'm saying? Now, the only reason that you could say that could possibly happen is because even without Kyrie, Luka was still able to make it to the Western Conference Finals. That year that they took that L or whatnot. What's up, Cypress? Yeah, fans are heated out here, Cypress. They out here protesting and everything. They in front of the American Airlines Center, man. They're protesting, man. They're chanting, "Sell the team, sell the team." And then Stephen Green sitting up in here saying that this is, Luka's a sellout and all this other stuff. And I'm trying to tell him, man, Luka didn't want this. But it was Nico Harrison. You got to think about it. For those, if you do your research and please hit the like when you come in here, man. Come on, man, give your boy a like, man. I know y'all don't. I know y'all not rocking with me that much, man. But come on, man, help your boy out with a like, man. But Nico Harrison has been around. He worked for Nike. He's worked with Michael Jordan. He's worked with Kobe Bryant. I mean, this guy right here, man, has been around some individuals that are no nonsense and take their craft very seriously. We know that Luka can hoop and stuff, but Luka tends to be the cause of his own demise, so to speak, in terms of his injuries and stuff like that. If you come in and you're coming in overweight, you're coming in well over 250 pounds, well, it's likely that you're gonna get an injury. That's why he's having all those problems with his calves and stuff like that. And then it's like every time you turn around, he's hurt. Everybody talk about how AD is hurt. Well, over the last 2 seasons, AD has shown up. AD played more than 65 games last season. You said with no inside presence, ain't going or winning no finals. Well, they got inside presence now. Well, you talk about the Lakers. They're gonna have to, man. I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do, man. I don't know if they're gonna go with a free agent because LeBron isn't going anywhere. LeBron isn't gonna go anywhere. I don't know if LeBron's gonna play center. I don't know if he's gonna play the big man because you have 2 guys that play pretty much like, okay, Luka's listed at a guard or whatever, and LeBron is listed as a forward, but the majority of the time LeBron is handling the rock. You know what I'm saying? And that's how Luka is. Luka wants to be dominant and control of the offense. A lot of people are really trying to see how this is going to work. So, Dallas, like I said, AD got what he wanted, man. And he's got more front court help. I know, Cypress, you've been talking a lot about Gafford. You got Gafford, you got Lively, you got Powell, you got PJ Washington, and you got Klay Thompson. Whenever I talk about the front court help, I talk about this. I include the small forward position too. And Klay plays that. What's up, Alex? He played include the front court. You gotta include the small forward position. Man, come on. What this guy doing? If LeBron plays center, they're done. Because, and then I'm not really even looking at from a personnel standpoint, really, Cypress. I'm really looking at it from a standpoint of coaching and culture. How's it gonna work? LA LA is a different culture than Dallas. You know what I'm saying? Like LA is about keeping their body in shape. Um, people talk about how Miami was, Miami is and stuff like that. Well, you got to think about Pat Riley, what he adopted while he was in LA. LA, you think about like Showtime and stuff like that, man. They kept their body in shape. The Kobe and Shaq era, I would say with the exception of Shaq. But when Shaq got into shape, he got into shape or whatever. But you see, Shaq had a hard time adapting to the LA culture. Kobe loved it. And the reason why I'm talking about this is because Luka is used to blowing up on Wade and, doing his thing in the off season, drinking, eating heavy and stuff like that. It's a different culture. And if you're not winning in LA, they're going to let you know about it. He doesn't have, well, he still got to get in there and work though. AD still got to get in there and work though, because as much as I like Lively and Gafford, they're not the offensive threat that AD is. But in terms of rim protection and rebounding, yes, they're up there with AD. AD is a tremendous rim protector. I know some people have been saying that AD isn't AD is a defender. AD is more of a defender. AD is more of a natural defender than he is in terms of offense. If you go back and you go look at AD when he was young and he coming out of Kentucky, AD was a monster at his age in terms of rebounding and shot blocking. To be as skinny as he was and stuff like that, and being able to control a game defensively. But he can also play offense too. That's what's special about him. But it's all going to boil down to, like I was telling you, Cypress, it's going to boil down to health, man. It's going to boil down to them staying healthy. And then you got to consider Kyrie. You got to consider Kyrie and Klay Thompson. you got a lot of people that you can't you can't leave open. Like you can't just leave the lane wide open for AD. AD gonna come there and bang it. You know what I'm saying? You have an alley-oop presence. You got a pick and roll presence. You got a pick and pop presence. When you consider Klay Thompson, and what's special about Kyrie too, but he's gotta play when it comes to Boston. When it comes to Boston, if you know when he plays in big games, Kyrie got to show up. What's special about Kyrie is that Kyrie can move without the ball, man. So, um, yeah, fans are heated, man. They're ready to cancel the Mavericks organization, but the only thing that you can say is, okay, if they don't win and if there's no success because of this, then you can understand where the fans are coming from. But a lot of superstar, a lot of guys are coming out questioning, like Charles Barkley, Kenny, or former players too. Kenny's Kenny the Jet Smith was questioning it. Greg Anthony was questioning this. You know what I'm saying? And they were basically saying what everybody said, like they're not going to trade a franchise player unless there's something going on internal. And it was internal on both ends. AD wanted a big man. He got into it with Rob Pelinka, and he got into it with JJ Redick several times. And then when you talk about Luka, Luka's got a diva-like personality. He complains a lot. He's marched up into the front office. He done got Donnie Nelson Jr. fired, and he's made Rick Carlisle quit. After a while, the relationship with him and Rick Carlisle wasn't that good anymore. And then of course the weight issue and the injuries. And I'm not saying that Luka was missing Zion Williamson time or Joel Embiid time or anything like that, but there was a period every time, and he's injured right now. You know what I'm saying? So every time you turn around, you looked around, you like, damn, Luka's hurt again. And I think that they were tired of that. And see, there's another thing too that I wanna throw out y'all too before I start talking about the Spurs. Here's the thing, man. They were winning without Luka. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm talking about when they had Kyrie in the lineup. There was a stretch. I think Luka missed like I think it was like 7 games. No, it was like 6 games. It was like 6 games Luka had missed. The Mavericks with Kyrie went 5-1. They went 5-1 without Luka. And in that stretch, Kyrie was still maintaining his 50-40-90 numbers. And I think he was averaging like 27 and 7 or 8 assists or something like that, and doing pretty good. You know what I'm saying? So I think they looked at that too. Um, Now you got De'Aaron Fox. Now I want to talk about this trade. Now me and Cypress, I don't know if Cypress is still in here, but um, me and Cypress have been on this trade right here for a long time. I had always said that if I wanted De'Aaron Fox to play with Wemby, and I had already said that. I said, I said this, it was maybe about last year sometime. And then I started talking about it a little bit more when De'Aaron Fox started having problems with Mike Brown. And I said, it would make sense if De'Aaron Fox went to a team like the Spurs because, okay, it's no knock on Sabonis, but you have at that position, Wemby is just showing to be a much better talent. Like I said, Sabonis in my eyes is an all-star. He's an all-star level talent. He leads the league in rebounding, solid offensive player and everything. Leads the league in double-doubles and everything. But Wemby's upside is tremendous. I mean, Wemby leads the league in blocks. Wemby can score from the outside. Wemby can score from the inside. You know what I'm saying? So his inside presence and him being able to run that pick and roll, a lot of people aren't really looking at that. De'Aaron Fox is an unselfish player, man. He's a very unselfish player, but if he needs to score, he can score. I mean, you're talking about a guy that can put up 60 points, but he's an efficient player. What's up, the real? He's very efficient. Now, here's the kicker too. The Spurs really didn't lose any of their weapons, so the Spurs are about to be dangerous. Listen to this. You got De'Aaron Fox. Let's talk about the backcourt. You got De'Aaron Fox. You got Vassell. You got Castle. I'm not gonna mention Chris Paul because Chris Paul in the later stages of his career. You got Sochan. You got Moore. The Spurs are loaded, man. And then on top of that, you got Wemby, you got him there. They're gonna be loaded offensively and as well as defensively. They're very quick and they're very scrappy too. I could see them being kind of like a Houston Rockets, how they are, because you look, they're very quick, and the Spurs are a fun team to watch too. That's what a lot of people. And then you add De'Aaron Fox. I love watching De'Aaron Fox play, man. You know, he's one of the best finishers at the basket, man. When I consider being able to finish like just without a lot of effort, I consider De'Aaron Fox in there, and he knows how to get in. Everybody talks about a bag and stuff like that. On top of that, he's left-handed. He can pull up. He can pull up in transition. He can distribute in transition. He can split the screen. I mean, this guy right here, man, is a light. And this is another thing too, Cypress. This is another thing. Check this out, right? De'Aaron Fox could play both. What are you doing? He could play the one or the two. Like you can't just leave De'Aaron Fox open. De'Aaron Fox will sit there and knock him down all day. If he moves without the ball and plays the traditional style of how a shooting guard plays, man, it's gonna be crazy. Now, I'm not saying they're gonna be a contender right off the bat, but they're gonna surprise a lot of people. Now you have to worry about so many weapons on that team, and now they're gonna make it to like what Houston is. Like when you consider Houston, you got guys on that team. You got at least 5, 6, 7 guys on that team that could get you anywhere between 15 and 30 points. And I say 15 respectively, because you got some guys on there that they're not gonna they're not going to score that much, but they're going to get in double figures. So this move right here, man, it really makes sense. Um, I think him playing with Popovich is a good thing too. He'll be able to pick Popovich brain, and Greg Popovich. He loves young point guards. De'Aaron Fox is still young. I want to say De'Aaron Fox is what, 26. He's either 25, 26, something like that. Might be even 27. I don't know. But De'Aaron Fox is still young, and he hasn't had that many. He hasn't had any injuries. I don't think De'Aaron Fox hasn't. So you got a durable guard, man. That's going to really help the Spurs out. Now it's going to be interesting to see how all of this is going to work out, considering that they have all of those guards, all of the their backcourt and stuff like that. It's going to be interesting to see how that works out. But I'm liking what I'm seeing from the Spurs, man. I really am, man. I think that the Spurs, in like another year or two, they could possibly come out of the West. In the future, in terms of the future, the Kings won that trade because they got the draft picks. They got the first rounders and they got the second rounders. They got the first round. They got 3 first round picks and 3 second round picks. And they got Zach LaVine and Sidi Sissoko or something, whatever his name. I can't pronounce his name. And then, of course, the Bulls, they got Zach Collins, Trey Jones, and Kevin Huerter. While the Spurs got De'Aaron Fox and Jordan McLaughlin. So this was a 3-team trade, man. I was kind of shocked that that the Bulls were involved. But Zach LaVine is out of there now. It's going to be interesting to see how Zach LaVine works with Sabonis. And like I said, so what's his name? Zach LaVine is out. He's out in the West again. Man, I don't know, man. Like Zach LaVine, man, he's a good talent, man. Great talent and stuff, man. But sometimes he just doesn't seem motivated to play the game. You said, do you think the Spurs will win rings with Fox and Wemby? That's what I was just saying, Steven. That's what I was just saying, man. I just said that. I said that they can come out of the West, man. Like, they'll be contenders in the next. I'll give it about 3 years. But, the reason why I say that, man, is because Wemby gets better every season, man, at what he do. Wemby's not one of these guys. I don't know. I guess people are looking at Victor Wembanyama as one of these fly-by-night talents. No, Wemby is here to stay. Wemby is putting the league on notice. Wemby is getting better in every part of his game. Or he's going to get better in every part of his game. Everybody's saying, "Oh yeah, well Wemby needs to gain more weight and he needs to stop shooting so much and he needs to go to the basket more and all this other stuff." You don't think he's listening to some of that stuff? He needs to be tougher. He needs to go inside. He needs to post up more and all this other stuff. He's gonna listen to that stuff and he's gonna come back. He's already showing you his potential by his second straight year leading the league in blocks. He's on pace to win Defensive Player of the Year. So let that sink in. When you have a big man that's playing defense like that and also can score at the same time, man. You said Zach LaVine is getting tired of playing on losing teams. That's why he's not motivated. Well, it's Zach LaVine's own doing. Zach LaVine has been hurt too. He's been hurt sometimes too. I mean, he can't sit there. He can't sit there and be pointing the finger and stuff like that, man. You gotta do your job to stay healthy too. Now, because I know that there was a time when Zach LaVine he missed quite a bit of time, and then after that, you know what I'm saying, he came back, man. It was kind of like he looked unmotivated to play. But I don't feel sorry for Zach LaVine, even though that he's a good talent and everything. I don't feel sorry for him. I don't. Um, when y'all had when it was DeRozan, when it was Lonzo Ball, and I'm like I said, I'm not gonna put it all on Zach LaVine because Lonzo Ball didn't help. He couldn't stay healthy. You know what I'm saying? His health was a big question and stuff. You got LeVar Ball sitting up there, and I got love for LeVar Ball, but LeVar, man, come on, man, you can't sit up there and say that they're not using Lonzo right. Lonzo has not been healthy. Lonzo hasn't. Lonzo Ball has not been healthy, man. So Lonzo has nobody but to blame but himself too. If you're not staying healthy, then you haven't nobody but yourself to blame, man. You know what I'm saying? Now I get it. There's some injuries that you can't control, but if it's like an injury, like okay, like with John Morant, I don't sit there and look at that injury and be like, oh yeah, he's finna be out for the season, nothing like that. No, John Morant has been able to bounce back from injury. Kobe used to get injured quite a bit. He would bounce back. Like you got to be able to be motivated to bounce back. I don't make a ton of excuses either because you had who was it? Kevin McHale. He broke his foot really, really bad, man. Sean Livingston had one of the worst injuries, suffered one of the worst injuries ever, and still was able to, to bounce back. He wasn't the same player that he was, coming out of high school as a McDonald's All American and all that stuff. But he was still able to be an effective player for the Golden State Warriors. So, like I said, man, I don't I don't sit there and harp on a guy being injured and stuff like that. I felt like Zach LaVine. A lot of people were looking at Zach LaVine like he was supposed to take off and be like the next Kobe and all this other stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because of his athleticism and stuff like that. And I said, nah, I don't see it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's hella athletic. And then he started to kind of settle his game down. When if you know Zach LaVine and you watch Zach LaVine, you'll know that when he first came into the league, all people thought that he was going to do was just be dunking and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? That's how much he was dunking, because he was in the dunk contest. I think he won the dunk contest, and then he started to improve his shot and everything. But and it was him and it's funny, him and DeMar DeRozan. You know their games are kind of similar. You know what I'm saying? Because DeMar DeRozan, people forget that DeMar DeRozan was mainly just dunking when he first got to the league. When he was playing for the Raptors, that's all he was doing was just dunking or whatever. And then he started to kind of work on it. He started developing that mid range and stuff like that. But um, and I don't know, I gotta talk about DeMar DeRozan too. I gotta see if DeMar DeRozan can be in the Hall of Fame, because that's a question that a lot of people have been asking. We always ask, should such and such be in the Hall of Fame and stuff like that, man. He's one of those players, man. He's one of those guys, man. But yeah, overall, man, these trades, man, it's set the internet on fire. um, the people in Dallas are not happy. Matter of fact, I was having I was having a back and forth with this guy at the gym, and he can't stand the fact that AD is here. You said no, not DeRozan. Yeah, there's some people that believe he's a Hall of Famer though. There's some people that believe that he is, man. Hold on one sec. There's some people that believe that he is. Because you got to think about this too. Check this out, Cypress. DeMar DeRozan, he got career averages of 20 something points a game. I think his career average is like 22 or some shit. And I think he's at 20K points. He has made it to I think he's made it to a couple conference finals, you know. So you got to look and I know it's like, damn, you don't see it, but he hasn't been like a perennial all-star, no shit like that. So, and I think I don't know how many all NBAs he has. I'll take that into consideration with the Hall of Fame. Your awards and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like defensive player of the year. Like I had some stupid buffoon tell me that Dennis Rodman isn't a Hall of Famer. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I had people tell me that Ben Wallace is not a Hall of Famer. Are you kidding me? I've had people tell me that Dikembe Mutombo, and I'm just talking about guys that you would not think. A lot of people don't think that they should be in the Hall of Fame. I'm a question you how how much you pay attention to the game of basketball. That's what we're gonna question. You know. Yeah. So, T Rex. I know the nigga Cypress was waiting to talk about T Rex cakes. He was ready to talk about Clarissa Shields. As you know, man, it was a big weekend for boxing. Me myself personally, and before I get this segment started, man, let me give a shout out to the homie Monty Brown TV. All right, if you're not subbed to Monty Brown TV, definitely go sub to Monty Brown TV. Uh, a boxing aficionado, um, and does great content over there too as well. Always got his ear to the canvas, so to speak, and inside of the gym. You know what I'm saying? So salute to Monty Brown TV. Was able to get on his live stream yesterday when we were watching the Clarissa Shields fight, doing the watch party. Um, Clarissa Shields, man, went into this fight with Danielle Perkins. Um, Danielle Perkins had the height advantage, had the reach advantage. Only thing I think she had a little bit of age on Clarissa Shields or whatnot, but her ringsmanship in terms of her IQ, you can tell it wasn't as good as Clarissa Shields. But I'll give her this: she did come out there and she brought the pain to Clarissa Shields, but T Rex just dominated that fight. I mean, she had a counter and had an answer for everything. And I love T Rex's. I love her energy. She 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 has a gift, man. Like she never slows down. You understand? And at the end of the fight, man, she put a move on Daniel. I don't think any other woman probably would have been able to handle that hit, but that pull counter right hand was so vicious, man. A lot of, I think even some guys would have been knocked out. But I give Danielle Perkins her credit. She got right back up and she walked normal. She wasn't wobbly or nothing, but she did take a knee. She took a knee or whatever, but then she was able to, get down. But she didn't get knocked down. Everybody thinks she got knocked down or whatever, but she was on her knee. But she got right back up and then walked back to her corner. But it was a good fight. I want to say this, man. On my channel, man, I pay attention to the women as well as the men. And I was reading the comments yesterday, man. Some of the most stupid ass comments, man, saying, "Oh, women's boxing isn't this and women's sports isn't that." I'm gonna tell you something. Women put more passion. Women seem to put more passion into some of these sports than some of these niggas do. I just got to be honest with you, you know. And like when I look at the WNBA and like for instance, Aja Wilson, she had her jersey, uh, retired with South Carolina, with the University of South Carolina. Aja Wilson is more passionate about the game of basketball than some of these dudes are in the NBA. You know, Like when I look at, I know y'all don't want to hear this. Y'all don't want to talk about that. But see, you got to diversify what you're talking about. Look, man, I could tell that just from talking to some of y'all will never be able to be with a female at all, or be around a lot of people. You know why? Because you're not versatile in anything. You're fixated on one thing. Like you don't want to talk about women's boxing, but you'll talk about men's boxing. You don't want to talk about women's basketball, but you'll talk about men's basketball in a heartbeat. You know what I'm saying? And it just doesn't work that way. Like we're on this earth, women got to get that. They got to get they just do too, man. And that's what we're gonna do over here. And if some of y'all don't like it, man, like I said, man, you can unsub. I have no problem with that. You know what I'm saying? But we are gonna talk about female sports over here. You know what I'm saying? Some of you, oh man, I don't want to pay attention to that. Hey, that's on you. That's on you. We still gonna cover it. It's more to talk about. And then on top of that, you gotta look at it like this too. Kaylin Clark is more of a draw than some of these. Look. It took Luka. It took a guy like Luka to come to LA to have people in a frenzy again. Now the internet is going crazy because of a trade. I felt like the NBA was involved in this too, because now everybody, even people that don't really talk about the game of basketball, everybody and their mama talking about the trades and everything like that. But up until then, people were really focused on the WNBA. They were focused on what the women were doing, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Because and when Kaylin Clark and for instance, when Kaylin Clark and Angel Reese were in college and stuff like that, people were going into frenzy because they wanted to see Kaylin Clark and they wanted to see Angel Reese or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? It was intriguing. But when it came to the NBA, what did you hear about them complaining about? Oh, all they do is they market their brand around one superstar. Da, 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 da. Well, hey, now they're like, look, we're gonna market around somebody else or whatever. Now, and I hate to go back to what we initially talked about, the Lucas situation, but now LA is the dominant market. I mean, basketball revolves around LA and places like the New York Knicks and places like the Celtics and stuff like that. Now they have no choice but to put Luka under a microscope, in which he was already under a microscope over here in Dallas. You understand what I'm saying? And so the women were being under that microscope, and I don't think a lot of people liked it. I loved it. The WNBA. That's why I don't stop talking about the WNBA, and that's why I give credit to some of these guys that are talking about the WNBA, like the brother HDIITV, like the brother Showtime. You know what I'm saying? Like the brother T Price, like the sister, the queen Gigi chilling. You know, even Ticket TV, he touches on it too. You know what I'm saying? Too Raw for TV, they touch on it too. We gonna touch on everything around here, man. Step your fucking game up and stop talking about just one thing all the time. Oh, just one guy. All this other, oh, you ain't talking about LeBron? Okay, oh man, I don't want to talk about it. Nah. You know what I'm saying? We got more to talk about. Cause listen, I'm gonna say this and then I gotta go. Once LeBron retire, hell you gonna talk about? The hell you gonna talk about? Like, let's just be real. Once he retires, what are you gonna talk about? That's just like when Jordan retired. A lot of his fans retired too. And I don't look at it that way. Nah, man, you gotta move on. You gotta evolve. Straight to the point, I'm out.